Come with us to the danger room. Back to the 90s. We'll take you home. Back to the 90s. We'll take you home. Back to the 90s. We'll take you home.
Welcome to the Danger Room, brought to you from Alchemist Cove. What can you find here, Eric?
All sorts of stuff. You have pop vinyls, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, anything you need for your gaming abilities.
So, my name is Adam. One of the reasons I want to start this YouTube channel is my love for things that are nerdy and things from the 90s. So, it brings me back to my childhood a little bit, being able to do something like this. And I think the show's going to be a lot of fun. It's not going to be a detailed analysis of anything. It's just going to be two guys who love dumb shit and want to talk about it.
Yeah, pretty much what you see at a Dunkin' Donuts conversation.
How would you describe it, Eric?
It is going to be a double barrel shotgun of 90s thoughts. Opened up, two shells of nostalgia aimed at your chest, firing both barrels.
Sounds awesome to me. So, our first episode. Actually, you know what? Before we get into that, Eric, why don't you tell them about yourself?
Well, my name's Eric. I've been a toy collector for quite some time now. I stopped there for a little bit when I was in high school because, cool guys don't do that. But eventually it did draw me back in. We just wanted to do this show because it's something that we both love, something I love personally, and we're both very excited to talk about it.
All right, first episode is Mighty Max, a show that we both watched as kids and maybe didn't remember a whole lot about it. And we wanted to open up with something we both had in common.
Yeah, it was one of those shows that you watch on like YouTube videos and you go, oh my God, I don't remember watching that, but it was so cool.
I even had some of the toys.
I didn't have any of the toys.
So it's, my grandmother used to say, Adam, if you're good, I'll get you a toy. And even though I was terrible and she had to hit me 3 times, she would still get me a toy.
It was one of those things that you tried to clean up your room to make sure that you got the toy. Inevitably, you didn't get it, but at least you had a clean room.
So, episode 1 is my first thought on it, and I know Eric hates this thought, but I think the opening theme is kind of ass.
I can't believe we're talking about this. It was if you're watching a 90s cartoon, it's one of those riffs that you hear that it automatically pumps you up, and I don't know why you don't like it.
It's random electric guitar riffs with seemingly no direction in what they were trying to do. They just got a guitar and they strummed it a few times and they said, all right, that's our intro.
That's what made it great. We've had this conversation many times. That's what makes it perfect. Every cartoon was like that.
And not only is it the opening theme, but every once in a while on the show you'll just get a random electric guitar riff.
But it also depends on where you're watching it, because there was a couple episodes I had nothing.
All right, so it opens up and we see Max, and he's wearing a shirt with an M on it, which is weird even for advertising purposes.
I think it's great that his name was Max. Wherever he got that shirt from, God bless them for having alphabetized shirts.
You had to go to the M section.
You had to go to the M section.
Find a small because he's not a big guy. And
yeah. Plus, you have to figure too. You got to go off of, is it a medium or is it just have M on it?
I never thought about that. Maybe it was like S, M, L, XL. He's like, oh, I'll take the
medium. This is my size.
So he goes up to his room, and for some reason he has way too many TVs
Correct.
in his bedroom, and they all have an odd program on them.
It was watching it. It was weird because it was like, what are you into that you're watching this stuff?
So then he gets a UPS delivery at his door.
Correct.
I'm assuming UPS, and it is an ancient Egyptian stone.
Correct. We do have to quick say, though, something that's a background to Max's character. His mom was an archaeologist. So apparently opening up a box that had a pyramid inside of it with Egyptian letters isn't random for him.
Well, if it was addressed to his mom, it's odd that he opens it and then immediately breaks it.
Exactly. The first thing he does, even on the box it says fragile, and he goes, you know what, I'm going to quick break it.
It's one of those, oh,
no. What do we
Oops.
do? And what was inside of that box?
A hat
Mhm.
with an M on it.
Right. Going with the theme of M, we have a hat, baseball cap, an Egyptian pyramid.
Yeah. Old,
With a
ancient stone. With
Yes,
yeah.
and you know it's old and ancient because the hieroglyphics on it is a dog and a P.
I didn't realize that.
It's a dog. Any Egyptian thing that you get, as long as it has a dog on it, you're fine.
So he then makes his way to a convenience store. And
Mhm.
in the convenience store, there's a guy inside being attacked by a lava monster.
Yes. Apparently common for the area.
So then, for whatever reason, the lava monster, I don't know that he recognizes him or he sees the cap. I don't know what is what brings him to this point, but he starts to chase Max.
What fuels his fire is the fact that he has a hat with an M on it and a shirt with an M on it. So I figured, watching it, I was like, this monster clearly knows his target.
So Max runs out of the store, jumps on his bike, hops his bike seamlessly onto a fence top, and rides it down a series of fence tops while he's jumping from fence to fence.
Can we give credit where credit is due? The people who built these fences have made it wide enough. So, like, the contractor putting these fences in went, well, now wait, is it wide enough to put a bike? Because that might be a form of escape for someone out there one day.
So the lava monster is chasing him, just plowing through everyone's fences.
Mm-hmm.
And Max sees a wall coming up, so he slams on his brakes, flies through the air,
Yep.
and a portal opens in his cap for the first time.
Yeah.
And he goes through the portal, and
Uh-huh.
there he lands in a foreign land,
Yep.
and he meets a small
Bird-like creature.
bird-like creature who can talk, named Virgil,
Flawlessly can
and
talk.
a super jacked, handsome, hot gentleman named Norman.
Space Ranger Norman.
And he and Norman's a terrible name to me. It's-
I think going into this, if you're going to have all of these sci-fi facts, a hat that opens portals from an Egyptian block,
yeah.
Norman seems like you didn't put a lot of effort into it.
Seems like that's the creator's brother's name. And you couldn't really think of a name, and he was like, "There's Norman." I mean, so
I think too it was like, well, you know what, in pre-production we'll call him Norman, but when we get to the actual show we'll change it. And then the show went on and someone went, hey, did you ever change Norman? No,
now
I
we're-
forgot.
Yeah, now we're
Oh,
stuck.
now he's Norman.
And Virgil actually has, I don't know if it's a scroll, but it seems to be a scroll.
It is a scroll. It's
Not a series. It's a scroll.
just a single scroll, which they've pumped 2 seasons into this. They
And-
never have to turn the page of this scroll.
It has all of the portals everywhere on Earth.
Correct.
Not even only Earth. Yeah.
Exact locations too.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Yeah, as will come, a little teaser to the next episode.
Yes.
Maybe they're not all on Earth.
I don't know. We'll have to see. This is episode 1.
So, they tell him that he is Mighty Max.
Yes.
And Mighty is not a describing word.
No.
It's a title, like king.
Yes. It's one of those things where you call like your brother that you really don't like. You're like, you're mighty, because you don't want to say, the love word.
I'm not sure where you're going with that.
I don't know.
But anyway, so they just start going in the portals, different national landmarks in different countries.
And it's amazing how many places they go. I mean, they end up in Kansas, Paris. I think Saudi Arabia was one. Like, it's amazing how they do this.
So, yeah, they're just hopping from
Place to place.
Leaning Tower Pisa.
Yeah.
They're just going to places. The
Yeah.
Lincoln Memorial, I believe they went to.
Yeah, but didn't really want to.
And then Max thinks it's really cool and not stupid at all, and then they go back to his house.
Yeah, which is what you would usually do if you've jumped from Paris to Washington D.C. to Kansas is really throwing me off. They go to Kansas a
What was
lot.
in Kansas?
It's just it looks like a farm field. It's
All right,
Kansas.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Could be Nebraska.
Nah, Kansas.
All right, Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas.
We are in Kansas anymore.
Uh-huh. Oh well, yeah.
So, and then we find at Max's house, he has enormous ancient Egyptian ruins with a portal to the Skull Mountain in his basement.
Not one time. And this is what threw me off. When I was younger, my dad used to say to me, "Hey, you mind going downstairs and get me a beer?" And I would go, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Not one person has asked Max to do that.
Yeah.
He's dumbfounded by the fact that this is all underneath his basement. He's blown away.
Just a thought, right, that
Uh-huh.
I wrote in here. Why does Norman have a sword and not a gun?
I don't know. That's an interesting question because the way that first of all, I want to add to the fact that Norman has a Rambo-style bandana. So
Yeah.
at some point he had to have watched the Rambo movies.
Yeah, because even when Gizmo did it,
Yeah.
he was watching Rambo.
Yeah. And I feel like if you're going to throw a bandana on, it's because of that movie. It's not just a willingness to do it.
And then he has
But-
a sword.
Yeah, he has a sword which is useless.
And I wrote again, Norman is a dumb name.
It wasn't. Again, it's not thought through, and it bothers me a little bit.
And so I see it. Skullmaster, we're introduced to him, and he's the main big bad of the series.
Correct.
And I thought to myself, man, that sounds like Tim Curry.
I thought the same thing too. Tim Curry's voice is so unique that it doesn't. You could be blindfolded and hear him and know exactly who it is.
Do you have Prince Albert in a can?
I don't.
He says that in one movie, and then he says to let him out.
I don't remember the film, Adam.
Anyway, it comes to an end just with a little teaser of the big bad, and we find this episode, as every episode, ends with a little bit of history or some science facts.
Which I thought was really cool. I think it's really neat that they wanted to bring in the history idea to a lot of these episodes. And I think it's what's kind of cool too is if you're watching this first episode and you're an adult now, you're really picking up on certain things. Virgil, for example, being the kind of the tutor and the lead, like the guide, I guess. If you're an adult watching this and you know any literature, I think it's neat that they brought in. It's a Dante's Inferno reference, which I thought was really cool.
And I'll have to take your word for it because I am very unknowledgeable of it, you know.
So you're the Norman of this team.
Yeah, so I get my ass kicked a lot, and I don't know a whole lot about history.
But you look good doing it.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. And
Episode 2.
Yeah, what's the title? What was the title of one? I don't know.
Bewilderment in a Hat.
Bewilderment?
Yeah.
Is that a
I
reference?
am cheating a little bit. I didn't think to look up the titles. So thank to Google. Bellwether in One's Cap. I don't know if it is a reference. I'm not sure if it is like a literature or
Bellwether.
yeah. But the second episode, we get somewhat a little more brought back. The Brain Suckers Cometh.
Which I would say is probably from an ancient literary.
No,
Oh,
I was thinking more of may he rest in peace, Ozzy's the something cometh.
Something cometh. Okay.
Something cometh.
This episode introduces Spacia and aliens. What's my note?
I don't even. So already you're with the first episode. You're coming up the hill of the roller coaster. This is episode 2. You start coming down fast,
Yes.
and I thought it was the first couple scenes of this episode is you're introduced to a floating head. it's a face on on the spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
so
and the aliens look oddly similar to the movie Alien.
it's almost like they were like, how can we get as close to this without getting sued?
And they nailed it.
And they good for them.
So,
We may have hit bottom with the Norman thing, but this was a good job, guys.
yeah, I actually love this episode. It starts class with his super annoying super nerd friend Ernie,
Which we all have.
and he has a
At some
terrible,
point.
weird, odd voice. I'll put some of it. I'm not sure how much I can get away with putting in our videos without getting them taken down. I don't know where people stand on their
Copyright.
ownership.
Yeah.
Copyright of Mighty Max.
But can we just say, I feel that watching this episode and he is introduced, everyone has that friend.
Yeah.
You do.
And not only does he know more than you, but he wants you to know that he knows
Yes.
more than you.
And if you don't know that he knows more than you, you're going to hear about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah.
then he's laughing weird, and he does weird squeaks when he talks. It's
Yeah.
odd. And what we find out in this episode is Max can just ditch out of school and no one notices.
It is the Harry Potter syndrome. Harry Potter obviously went to school for 4 years, but only did 20 minutes of class and graduated. So I feel like it's the same thing where Mighty Max is like, "Can I use the bathroom?" and then just never comes back.
And so they get into. I don't remember how the portal opens and they get on the spaceship. It's escaping.
It was in a gym class.
Was it gym class?
Yeah, they went into Max was he was gonna say something, and he reads everything because at this point now, the second episode, you don't really see Norman and Virgil. He gives them like notes. You get notes, so like it could be almost like Power Ranger style. You get like he goes to the bathroom and he rolls down the toilet paper, and it's like,
Yeah,
meet
that's
me in the
that's a running
gymnasium.
theme, yeah,
Yeah,
throughout the whole
yeah.
show.
And meet me in the gymnasium and just keep running
Take
at the
3
wall.
steps left and run straight at the wall.
Run at the wall. Trust me, you're fine. But fortunately for Max, he always knows where these portals are from Virgil.
Yeah. Boom, spaceship.
Yeah, and that was one thing that I wondered about this episode is how did is it just these things just meet up all the time? Like, is it like if you at this gym and you run at this wall?
Yeah, I think
Boom.
the portal's always there, but here's my bigger issue with it
Okay.
is what would have happened if the spaceship wasn't there? Would you like is the portal to space or is it to always that spaceship no matter where it is?
Yeah, because it really is kind of confusing. Because if it is towards space and they were a millisecond off,
Yeah.
that's it. Episode 2. Roll the credits.
Anyway, so things get crazy on the spaceship. They get into a fight. Norman could use his sword, but he doesn't use his sword. And when he does use it, he kind of just hits him with the side of the blade and
Yeah.
not much of the blade.
He definitely has the Jedi. You have a light sword, but I'm gonna hit you with a hilt.
Yeah, and turns out they get into trouble. And whose help do they need?
Mighty Max.
Ernie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They need Ernie's help to fight off the aliens.
Ernie has waited for this moment in his
Yeah,
whole
he
life.
knows all about alien
Yep.
physiology and technology and
Little
and,
known fact, he is a student of the man Giorgio Tsoukalos from Ancient Aliens, so he's already on top of
And
this.
in their climax of this episode,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden Max is a pilot and Ernie is a crack shot flying these spaceships.
It has to be the hat, right? Like,
Ah, man. And then, so the fight ends.
Mm-hmm.
They portal out. And then, this is just my opinion, but
Mm-hmm.
super racist cannibals are walking around Ernie in a boiling soup pot saying ooga booga over and over again, and that's how the episode fades out.
yeah. I fast forwarded through that part because I didn't want to be, oh, so you watched that kind of thing. So I was kind of glad when it was over. I was really more interested to see what they were going to do with the history part of it because I was like, I don't want to be a
Well,
part
it's
of
more
this.
about space than it was
Yeah.
the old.
Because what are you going to do?
Islanders from the old Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Like, what are you gonna do in this episode where it's like, oh yeah, well, space is cool.
Yeah, they didn't need the super racist
Mm-mm. It had nothing to do with that.
cannibals who were gonna eat Ernie.
Yeah, it had really absolutely nothing to do with it. I think it was just a thing in there to be like, I knew a guy like this, and this is how I wanted him to go, so I'm gonna do it to Ernie.
Ernie gets a tough hand. He gets dealt a tough hand.
He definitely has the pocket twos in this whole scenario.
And anyway, it fades out, and they talk about space a little bit, and then we go to episode 3.
Which was entitled Snakes and Ladies.
And this one was odd to me. My notes are short on this one. Must not have been one of my favorites. And I started taking notes a little bit different later, so I apologize. As we get in, it'll be a little more.
Yeah.
But Max makes an odd probing joke about his classmate Jiffy.
First of all, any kid named Jiffy,
So
I don't want to have anything to do with that kid.
and Max really likes Jiffy.
Mhm.
It's weird he makes the probing joke, and I don't even know how old Max is, to be honest with you.
It's never really said.
He's either 12 or 17.
Now, we said that for the reason of this episode really flies off the handle with the whole, oh man, she's hot.
Yeah, this is Mummies, right? This
Yes.
one's Mummies.
Yes.
And anyway, he really likes Jiffy,
Mm-hmm.
and Jiffy only likes studies.
So this is the girl that history nerds wanted in our lives, but we never got
She
them.
loves history, and
She does. She's like, no, I don't want to party. I want to study.
what's crazy is Max knows everything about history, but seemingly doesn't like history.
It's almost Freudian because his mom is an archaeologist. So,
Alright.
for anyone's watching who's Freudian, let us know about that. What's going on there?
And what I was getting to is he loves Jiffy, and
Uh-huh.
Jiffy doesn't care about him.
No.
But B does really like him, but he doesn't care about her.
The will they, won't they for this episode is intense. It's like any show that you've watched and had the two main characters, will they, won't they? It's the Benson Stabler of cartoons.
I'll have to take your word on that one.
I've
And
only heard it on myth and lore.
so anyway, Mummy comes to life.
Yeah.
This one's not too portally. It's
No, there's not a
portally
lot of portals
episode.
going on. No.
And they get into situations with this mummy, and then they find, through the working together, they can read hieroglyphics and
Yep.
put together the mystery that it is. you
Yes.
know, why this mummy is walking around, and go ahead.
Side note, just a quick side note. A lot of the villains in this series was done by Jim Cummings. So that's Winnie the Pooh coming after you with all its hate and rage.
So he designed the characters, you're saying, or
No, he voiced a lot of the
Oh,
characters.
oh,
Yeah, a lot of the
oh.
villains in this show are done by Jim
I
Cummings.
did not know that. Like
Yeah.
the high pitched, like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So and the Mummy was, and that's another one. If you've watched a lot of '90s stuff, you could tell Jim Cummings' voice, Megatron, all those characters come back to life.
And while I would recognize them all through his voice, I would never have known his name.
Google.
So, B gets into trouble.
Mhm.
The mummy is about to, I'm assuming, rip her into pieces.
That's what you would think a Mummy would do.
And Max goes back for her. He does care about B.
Again,
The whole episode of
the whole.
he just wants to be away from B. B's
Oh,
so annoying.
I hate her.
But he goes back for B, and she even gets a little moment with him where she's
Yeah.
like, Max does care about me.
And I think it's kind of cool where it's like, Max is like, oh, I can't stand her. Get away from me. Oh, I hate you. But do I?
So, I also noted this for myself. Crazy that his classmates help him, but they don't tell anyone else, and this never becomes national attention.
It doesn't make the newsreel, even though it's a little bit in the real world. It never, nobody picks it up. But if I speed and get a ticket,
Yeah.
it seems like the world
Makes
knows.
a newspaper.
Yeah, it makes a
So this doesn't
newspaper.
make the Mummy comes to life,
Yeah.
almost murders
Every
field
child.
trip class, and no one says it. Anyway, episode 4.
Oh, before we go
Oh,
to
go ahead,
episode
Joe. Sorry,
4,
sorry.
real quick, there is a couple scenes with what I thought were druids, but
Mm.
as the title suggests, they were snakes in robes.
And they come back, we see them again later, maybe.
I don't know.
We'll
But,
see.
real quick, who's making those robes?
So you're saying snakes without arms?
Basically, they're
arms.
towels, but they have, and here's what really blew my mind. If you look at some of the robes, they have a tie.
So they've made a robe.
They've made a robe.
They've made a tie.
They made a tie to go around their middle.
Not even, you would think a tie.
No, no.
Well, really, when you think about it, a snake is just a throat.
Right. But who tied the knot?
They have,
What's that meeting like? Hey, we're going to wear robes. Oh. Ooh.
well, I don't want to look like a scumbag. I want to dress up.
Yeah, I wanted this to be, if we're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. So
So, I'm going to get my tie.
I'm going to get a tie. Who's going to tie it for me? You know? That is never answered.
The person who ties my ties in my life is my wife, so my wife must be tying all of the snake ties.
Oh, see, I didn't think of that. No, that's a good idea. That's certainly good.
So, and then it's my job to make sure that I don't spill everything onto my tie for the rest of the day.
I mean, how difficult was that to begin with? If you're a snake,
Well, for me, it's a real.
well, for you,
yeah.
it's easy. But let's give
Constantly
credit
has
where
coffee
credit's
and ketchup every tie I have.
Let's give credit where credit's due. These snakes dislocate their jaw to eat, but they still have ties.
All right, are we ready for episode 4?
Let's get to episode
Title.
4. Dave the Cyclops.
Dave? This
Day
day of.
Day of
I
the
thought you said
Cyclops.
Dave the Cyclops.
That would have been so much better. Oh my god.
All right, so my first note of this episode is Max's mom is hot. That's the first episode where we meet his mom.
It is the first episode where we meet his archaeological mom, and who's shopping with Virgil and Norman. Like it's just a Tuesday.
So they've clearly become friends at this point.
So that's a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that we won't get the opportunity to see. But she's shopping in a street market with a small bird and Space Rambo and is upset at the prices.
Well, here's how I get into it. First of all, Norman and Virgil show up, and nobody thinks it's weird there's a talking owl guy.
Right. Nobody. In a robe.
And Max's mom seems to know them and
Uh-huh.
not think it's weird her son hangs out with talking owl guys and Space
Right.
Rambo.
Right. Who has a sword? Someone needs to call CPS on this lady.
So something goes wrong. Maybe it's a problem in the language, or there's a misunderstanding with one
Right.
of the street vendors.
Right, because they all speak perfect English and the street vendors don't.
Yeah, and there's a misunderstanding, and here's one of the few times where Norman beats the shit out of a bunch of people, and then Max gets arrested. So when it comes to normal people, Norman will
Uh-huh.
just beat the shit out of them.
Yep. And it's Max's fault.
Yeah, he gets arrested.
Yeah. How could you do this, Max?
He actually even threw one guy up and into a second-story window.
Yes. The strength on that guy.
Anyway, there's some torturer dude.
Yes. Which,
Go ahead.
before he gets into the prison, the mother says to Virgil that we have to go get my son, and Virgil's response is, "No, we gotta get the hat."
Oh, so Virgil doesn't care who has the hat.
At that point, then, there's an argument between Virgil and the mom, saying like, "Well, he's my son. I have to go get him."
I didn't realize how deep that got.
Yeah, and Virgil's like, "No, the hat is more important." And in a click, the mom goes, "Yeah, you're right."
I think what we
Watching that
can-
episode, I'm like, this mom sucks.
I guess we can all agree that owls are dicks.
Yeah, robed owls that talk with an English language or an English accent.
So anyway, the guards tell them that there's some Cyclops who fought Odysseus there,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a cutaway, and Virgil and Max's mom are chasing a Middle Eastern child to get the cat back.
Yes, because somehow, one way or another, I think it was when Max was arrested that
Yeah, his cat came off.
That
and
cap
then
came off and the
a
kid got
child
it.
got it.
And what's cool to me is that the loyalty of Virgil, instead of being like, well, he's a new one,
So it comes back around. Now he changed his mind.
now he changes his mind. Now all of a sudden Max is
Or-
more important.
Racist.
Ooh, that's deep. Ooh.
Because if you remember the old Max, anyway,
Yeah.
owls are dicks, I think is
Yeah,
is where we're going.
essentially.
So, getting the cat back, so we cut back to Max and Norman,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in the prison, and they find a secret passageway because there's wind blowing.
Yes, which, as anyone who has watched a film, if you're in a jail cell, and maybe you can even use this to this day, if you're in a jail cell and you have dust in the cell, throw it in the air, wherever it blows to, that's your escape.
Gotcha.
And food for thought.
And if it just falls back down on the ground, you're screwed.
There's nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing you can do. You're
You have to
there.
get killed by a Cyclops.
Yeah.
And I do want to say about the chase of the little kid with the cap, it's not unlike a Benny Hill film.
I was surprised they didn't do that. That really surprised me.
So anyway, Max and Norman find a secret passageway in the prison.
Yep.
And go to the Cyclops' lair.
Yes.
And fight him. Also, the Cyclops has two eyes.
So, I was confused by this too. Okay. So that monster or whatever is not the Cyclops that they're talking about.
All right.
Okay, that comes briefly later on, which we'll get to. That guy is just another monster. He's just there. Because we eventually do see the Cyclops that was
I do
talked
remember
about.
that.
Yeah. But this guy gets the shaft, man. He's not a good monster. He's really not. Norman, he is 0-2 with Norman.
And Norman, as we'll find out later, isn't a great fighter
No,
himself.
no. So this is like fighting the school bully, but not being the bully.
So, after they fight, they find the remains of an actual giant Cyclops and
Yeah.
immediately climb into its skull and find a living eyeball.
Which, again, nothing has been said about all of this others. Hey, by the way, there's a Cyclops down there. Okay, so then you come across a two-eyed monster and a walking eyeball. No one came across those?
I was more dumbfounded by the fact that they find a Cyclops skeleton and
Yes.
they say, let's climb up into its head.
Yes. That was the Cyclops that they were talking about.
Alright.
Just for our people watching this.
So the monster they fought was the Biclops.
It was a Biclops.
All right.
Which Norman eventually fights this monster again. And instead of killing it with the sword, which again he has the sword, it's a part of his repertoire. He throws it into a flaming pit and murders it.
Well, actually, so the way that I see it is they defile the Cyclops corpse in the fight and even burn it along with the eye. And then they toss the weird Biclops monster into the burning eye and corpse flames.
Yeah. They murdered it.
Yeah. And they defile the corpse.
And then they go,
And they go, well, today's history lesson.
it just ended with that. And usually, this was my face when that happened. Like, they just end. They don't say anything about it after that. They walk around like, Mondays.
Yes.
So if you're a Biclops monster, one of your professions you shouldn't do is protect a prison. You're done.
You would assume most of the people that he was being bad to were bad people. So he's
So
not
really,
necessarily.
man, I was yeah. And when you look at it in hindsight, 2020, you're kind of a little
Yeah, he probably
sympathetic.
assumed Max and Norman were bad guys.
Yeah, because they're in prison.
And then they just beat the shit out of him. Like, if you look at this from the Biclops perspective.
Yeah, this is the one time in this whole series where you're kind of just like, yeah, you guys didn't need to do that.
Yeah, so they beat the shit out of this poor Biclops monster who helped the
Yeah.
guards of the prison.
Yeah.
And then threw him into defiled, burning remains.
It's Americanism at its finest.
Episode 5.
Which is entitled, is this lock
You
screen?
should keep it always open.
I can't, I don't know how to. It's
do
So
what I
let
do.
sleeping dragons lie.
Do what I do and just ask a 6-year-old. They'll
Oh.
unlock it for you.
Yeah, well, and it's supposed to go by my face.
That's no idea who you are.
Oh. Which is kind of concerning. So, episode 5, Let Sleeping Dragons Lie.
So this actually was one of my favorites.
This was really well written, really well drawn.
Odin. Odin. That's what I have. Odin.
Mm-hmm.
And Odin is currently, when we join him in this part of the story, he's currently being tricked into trying to resurrect Loki.
Yes.
But
Tale
it's
as old
not
as time.
Loki.
No.
It's
It
the
is.
Skullmaster.
Wee, woo, wee.
Nice. Nice. I wrote what a twist.
That's
So-
impressive that you wrote it in that.
Yeah,
wording.
that's actually how I wrote it. And then, anyway, Max is grocery shopping.
Yeah. Did you look at the list?
No.
This is a skanky family.
What do they want?
5 bars of soap.
Just 5?
5.
There's 2 people who live there.
Yeah, 5.
So
They need 5 bars of soap, and I think there's like 4 detergents.
we don't see any permanent men in Max's mom's
No.
life.
No.
And Max doesn't seem to really have a respect
For
men.
yeah. So, why do you need 5 bars of soap? And also, too, I thought it was great because looking at today's market, that'd be like $500.
And then they page him to aisle 7. He just walks into a portal.
Yeah, which is
So luckily he never went to aisle 7 before. Aisle 7 must be like Father's Day cards. Anyway,
I'll never know my dad.
so goes through the portal,
Mhm.
and we find out. I don't know why this was. Sorry, we find out it's not Odin. It's a sorcerer named Raven Dark, and he lives inside a doomed dragon's corpse.
Yes, which I liked. Raven Dark. That was actually a really cool name.
That's kind of cheesy to me.
It's not. It's really not.
Raven Dark.
Yeah, if you're gonna come up with a wizard, those are the 2 names that have to be in the wizard's name: Raven and Dark. And this guy just went, oh, you know, I'm gonna cut out the middleman. I'm just gonna put them together.
And I don't know how accurate this note was. I may have been drinking for this episode.
There was a lot. for
But I
me.
put Puff the Magic Dragon is written about Norman's battle with the dragon.
Yes, I thought that was actually interesting.
So that was real?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, shit. I thought
Yeah.
that was...
No. That was actually kind of interesting because I remember Puff the Magic Dragon.
Yeah, I sang it in kindergarten or some
Yeah.
shit in school.
I don't remember it being that violent.
He lived by the sea.
Yeah, and then Norman chopped off his head, but not with his sword.
Anyway, so Norman, we find out in this episode, was Thor.
Yes,
What a fucking revelation.
that was a twist.
He was Thor.
That was the Kaiser Sose of this episode.
What a twist. This one is full of twists. M.
They
Night
should've
Shyamalan
called-
at his finest.
Yeah, they should have called it "What a Twist," or even better, they should have named the episode "Oh What."
So Ravendark is attempting to resurrect the Doom Dragon.
Yes.
And if he does this, where's he going to live?
Not in the dragon.
Yeah, he literally lives in its corpse.
I think we could look at if we look back now in the 90s, real estate's not that bad. And especially with a name like Raven Dark, you're going places.
All right. I mean,
Even if you're a birthday magician, the 90s was good for real estate.
Yeah, but it's hard now.
Now,
And I would never resurrect my house into a doom dragon.
if the opportunity came up, you wouldn't resurrect your house into a doom dragon.
Where am I gonna live?
Apartments.
I guess.
Where are you going to park the dragon? That's the problem. There's off-street parking.
And then the dragon is then awoken.
Yes.
Norman uses his old Thor hammer fighting the dragon.
Yeah, that was actually really cool.
So
It was this episode is a really, like I said, really well drawn out. It's almost like the first couple episodes were silly. These are silly episodes, and then this episode comes along and it's like, wow, that's actually really good. I like that.
again, it was one of my favorites in the entire series.
Yeah.
So the dragon reveals Norman may have even been Lancelot,
Yep.
Little John.
Yep.
Also, what the fuck?
Norman is one of those characters that I think like. If there was a spin-off series of Norman, I would need to watch it because going into this, he is somewhat of a, dare I say, space bitch. But then all of a sudden, he's now introduced as this mythical character that I kind of want to know.
Apparently he's immortal, maybe? But
Yeah.
he can die.
Yeah, so
He's afraid to die.
yeah, aren't we all? But I mean, I would really like to see if the opportunity ever came. I would love to see a spin-off of Norman. That would be the title, Norman.
Just Norman?
Just Norman.
Out of all of his really cool names,
Yep,
he's stuck with Norman.
Norman. Did you want to stick with Lancelot? Yeah.
Yeah. Thor?
No.
Little John, that's kind of like Norman.
He's like,
So his names are getting progressively worse.
yeah. Like he looked at Virgil and he's like, "Hey, I'm working on a nickname. Tell me what you think." He's like, "Okay, sure." He's like, Norman, and Virgil went, "Alright."
Anyway, so Max proves to Ravendark that he's still cursed,
Uh-huh.
which causes Ravendark to then join them in the fight
Yes.
and put the dragon back to sleep.
Yes. I think this is when he decides, oh shit, I'm homeless.
See?
Yeah.
He knows exactly what I'm talking about.
He knows it.
And then they're like, oh, we have a plan to stop the Skullmaster. And Virgil does that stupid thing that I hate in shows and cartoons or whatever, where he's like, oh, the plan is...
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god, do I hate that.
I always, whenever I saw that, I would always be like, I wonder if they told the actor, who's probably an award-winning actor, which the voice of Virgil is Tony J or Tony Jaa. I'm not 100% sure. Was in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Was Shere Khan in Tailspin later on, which is always a good show. We need you to do this.
And our plan is... And then you're gonna...
So an award-winning, Emmy-winning actor, possibly. We need you to mumble.
So then they enact the plan immediately after,
Uh-huh.
and Max has to go to get Ravendark back inside of the dragon.
Yes.
And Norman is luring the dragon to an exact location
Mm-hmm.
so Max can jump inside of it.
Yes. Which, anytime there's a dragon's ultimate demise is his innards.
Yeah, they have to get him, and that's back to the space show episode. He goes to a
Yes.
location not inside
Yep.
the dragon.
Yep.
So he could have easily been dead episode 2.
Episode, yeah.
So I didn't put that together back then. So anyway, so he's luring him so that when Max portals, he portals inside of the dragon.
Yes.
And I have here, luckily, when the plan is enacted, he is portaled inside of its stomach and not inside of its nutsack where he would have drowned to death.
Mind you, I didn't study dragon anatomy.
Yeah.
I don't want to go out that way. I don't. It doesn't even sound
Isn't it
fun.
super lucky he
Yeah,
didn't end up in the
like-
nutsack?
Who designed these portals?
So
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Who designed these portals? Like, hey, I got one portal. Tell me if you like it.
Yeah,
or
they
not.
never talk about
No.
God or gods
No.
or
Tell me if you
what
like
is
this.
up with the portals.
I have an idea for a portal, right? I'm gonna make it. Just tell me how you like
you
it.
have to jump off of a cliff.
So what I want you to do is I want you to run at this cliff. Now, mind you, that at the end of this cliff is probably 1,000-foot drop to rocky terrain.
Yeah.
When you run, right? It's all a faith-based jump. So you're gonna run, jump, and you think like, oh God, I'm gonna go in the water. I put it in a dragon's belly.
Anyway, Raven Dark sacrifices himself to put the dragon back to sleep.
Yes. Which, thank you, Raven Dark. Thank you, Mr. Dark.
Pour one out for Raven.
Well, nice carpets in here, so.
Episode 6. I finally figured it. Here's my first note.
Uh-huh.
Finally figured out the weirdness in sound. It's almost like there's no sound effects and it's all voice acting and music.
See, it was weird because, like, at this point, where I was watching it from, I didn't have any soundtrack. I just had talking. I didn't have any music after this point.
Really?
I didn't have anything. I had nothing. It was just.
I noticed like they didn't have like footsteps like that.
Yeah, they don't have footsteps. In this episode, for me especially, it was just like it was like nothing, and then hey, and it kind of threw me off guard.
So anyway, Max gets a message written in the sky by a plane
Mm-hmm.
telling him where to go for the portal.
Yes.
How the fuck does that
So
happen?
here's how this is how I would act it out. Hey, I need you to do me a favor. Oh my God, you're talking now. No, listen, listen. Here's $50.
Yeah, my friend has a sword.
My friend has a sword, so he's not going to use it. But what I need you to do is I need you to go into the air and I need you to write out this message. This is a pretty specific message. I don't know if I have the gas for this. So he pulls out another 50 and gives it to the pilot. And then the pilot's like, okay.
And then he writes a message in the sky. So
Yes.
anyway, Max's mom was kidnapped by apes who are living in a Roman society.
Yes.
So
2 questions.
yeah.
Pretty specific.
I mean, Planet of
not?
the Apes.
Yeah, I got the Planet of the Apes thing. Again, it was really cool how they brought a lot of movies and stuff into this cartoon, but why the Roman society?
Not sure. It's where they're at in their evolution.
Because, like, the way that I figured it is like, they were in
They could have had it like.
Inca.
Well, also they were in a location where like people there fight with like AK-47s and tuxedo shoes.
True.
So you would think they would at least have AK-47s and tuxedo shoes.
Well, no guns in the 90 movies and
Alright,
cartoons.
alright.
So.
Gotcha.
You have a sword, but we're not going to use it.
So anyway, Virgil, they need to swim somewhere, and Virgil says that he can't swim, and then immediately swims and kind of hangs on to Norman.
How do you not know how to swim? You have feathers, for God's sakes.
He immediately swims after.
Yeah.
So
Flawless.
we find out the gorillas are using humans as slaves.
This is a whole topic of discussion to begin with. This can be brought to any era, I feel.
And then M. Night Shyamalan wrote this episode, I believe.
Yes.
And the apes actually don't believe anything exists outside of the valley,
Yes.
just like the village.
Yep.
So I'm seeing a lot of Shyamalan crossover in this series.
I feel like he was a writer in this show.
And Max argues and tells them about their technology, and the
Yep.
ape leader needs time to think things over.
Yeah. But he has a Jeep.
They do have a jeep. And the apes have horses.
Yeah. And also the Jeep is fully gassed.
Well, also, horses I don't believe are native to rainforests.
No. Unless there's some kind of other M. Night Shyamalan thing involved with this.
And Max actually has to lead a rebellion of the slaves against the gorillas.
Yeah.
And they get into a huge battle.
By the way, real quick, the form of communication for the slaves, remember that?
Was it?
Yeah. So they formed a strategic battle plan on grunts and mopes.
And this actually was very surprising to me, but some of the slaves were killed by thrown spears. Actually
Yeah.
died in this episode.
How about that?
So they were actually being killed.
So Norman can't use his sword, but we're gonna kill a couple of these guys with spears.
So-
And they actually, like, they really did show them, like,
Getting killed.
it was like out of Braveheart.
So the ape leader calls for an end to the fight.
Which I feel like the ape leader was very balanced. He was a good ape leader.
Well, the general was the problem.
The general's always a problem.
Yeah, so the general challenges Max to a fight.
Yes.
And Max says, if we win, then we can all leave.
Yep.
And then immediately runs.
Yeah.
The ape doesn't say okay. He doesn't agree to the terms at all, and Max just runs.
He just. I'll tell you what, though, he didn't see that coming.
We find out there are no rules in the challenge.
Nope. You
And,
just.
Max finds an old Jeep and just starts driving it. So he continues to run.
Yeah. He doesn't. Well, I mean, if you're going up against a silverback, you know, and you're a 12 to 17-year-old child, you're going to have a backup plan. Luckily, in this Roman society of apes, there's one 1987 Jeep, Army Jeep, fully gassed, keys in the ignition.
Not rusted.
Not rusted at all.
Able to drive.
Yeah,
And the ape leaps onto the back of the Jeep.
as you would always see.
And Max absolutely sends the Jeep through the air, bails out, and sends the ape to what I assumed was going to be the bottom of the ocean.
You would think. Nope.
Or a dragon's nutsack.
That's why I would have said that. Oh, man.
So the ape leader, because Max won this, gives the throne to Max. He's now the ruler of all apes.
It is such an easy process to become the king of apes, as long as you show your strength by running
Driving a
and
Jeep.
driving when you don't have a driver's license.
And Max turns it down and asks the leader just to free the humans.
That is so noble. The running part wasn't noble, but that was noble.
Then we cut to the general. He's lost in a desert. He screams up into the sky.
Yeah.
Fade to black.
Little known fact, it was Arizona.
Was it?
I don't know.
My issue here is, well, maybe we'll see him again this season, right?
I'm hoping season 2 brings him back. I really hope we get to see more of the general. It was a little bit of a letdown to like the way that they left that off of him just screaming in the desert. Because what if that wormhole left to like 10 miles down the road?
Space.
No, it wasn't even outer space.
Mhm.
What if it just led 10 miles down the road? Like
And
he
it's-
went,
and it's hot there.
and he's just like, oh, I know that. Episode 7. These episodes now are starting to get actually kind of good. I feel like
Yeah,
this is
they're starting
when,
to pick up. Yeah.
yeah, this is the mother of all adventures. I feel like it's starting to. Those first couple episodes were kind of kid friendly, kind of cartoony-ish. But now we're getting into these episodes, and it's kind of like, all right, let's hit them now. We have their interest. Let's get some good stuff in. So this is called the Mother of All Adventures, which, if you're gonna call it that, I'm expecting a lot.
So here's what my notes: zombies? Question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Voodoo?
Question mark.
Haitian racism?
We're getting all topics.
Anyway, so Max is playing baseball, and I'm assuming travel ball because it seems like his mom is rich.
Yes.
And
She's an archaeologist.
now that I think about, what is Max's mom's job? She's an archaeologist.
She is an archaeologist. They do, when they're first introduced to Max's mom, she does say that she's an archaeologist.
Ah, gotcha.
Yes.
And then why do they have the same haircut? Is
Because
another
they're
question that came up.
Offspring.
Gotcha. And you have to have the same hair
Yeah.
as your mom, so I should actually have like a
I mean,
Lego helmet hairstyle of
your mom has a...
frilly hair. Yeah, like when she's like, I'm gonna go out. I'll cut that.
Actually, you know what? I want to ride this out.
Yeah, I'll cut that out. And so anyway, here's my notes. Max's baseball swing is absolute trash. He doesn't. They get attacked by zombies,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And he's a traveling, I assume, baseball player.
Yeah.
And he hits a zombie and doesn't even knock it off balance.
So, I agree with that. I mean,
Right.
it's a baseball bat, for God's sakes. It should have done something.
Yeah, and so that tells me that he doesn't put his hips into his swing or anything like that. So
A lot
He
can be
needs better
said from a
coach.
swing.
then we find out that weird parasites attach to the back of a neck and make
Yes.
people zombie-like.
I didn't understand this, the connection.
Body snatchers. Almost.
It was definitely a body snatchers thing, but I didn't understand the connection of making them a zombie.
Yeah, me neither. Because they were very zombie-like, and they even had like
Yeah.
Haitian involvement. Like obviously Haitians are zombies
yeah.
or whatever.
And I could tell it was Haitian because there was one guy with a top hat.
Yeah, and a bone. necklace.
Immediately. Immediately.
And we find that the more people that are taken by these, the more the bugs will multiply.
Yes.
So they need to take these people. And Max, for whatever reason, makes a joke about his aunt being slutty.
I don't remember that part.
I don't have the joke written down, but yeah, he makes mention like, aunt, whatever, really
He's
takes
a-
it.
Speaking of
Yeah,
horse,
takes it from men. Yeah. You have to play the episode back. He makes
I'll
a joke about
have to
his
check it out.
aunt being a slut. And they then descend into catacombs and encounter
Yes.
a bunch of the zombies.
Uh-huh.
And they have a parasite crush fest.
It was, if they would have played like 80s rock to it,
I say Hell's Bells.
Hell's Bells or Rock Me Like a Hurricane,
Oh my god, yeah.
that would have been awesome.
So Max's mom wants to take a statue of the parasite queen like a fucking idiot.
See, and it's a typical archaeological flaw. You got it. You don't have to take
After
everything.
they rescue everybody, she's like, "Oh, I want to take this statue back. Nothing will happen."
Yeah,
God, she's lucky she's hot.
with a boy's haircut.
But Max might have a girl's haircut. It's hard to say.
I don't know.
It's like a Miley Cyrus.
Which we don't not like.
Yeah,
her.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
So she takes a statue. And oh, wouldn't you know it, the statue falls and breaks and a bunch of parasites crawl out.
What? Who saw this coming?
So Max wakes up
Mm-hmm.
and his mom, who's still hot, is now a zombie.
Yeah.
And all of his neighbors are zombies.
Yep.
And everyone's a zombie. And why didn't Max get zombified?
Because he's our main star.
Gotcha. Maybe the cap has some type of anti-tick collar type.
Yeah. I kind of felt like if you had the hat, maybe it was a deterrent for them. Like,
Yes, I was just saying, a tick collar.
yeah. No, I mean like, the Mummy when he just raises his hand like this, and then all the things disappear. It's the same thing.
So
Tick collar.
Max goes home.
Uh huh.
He must have been somewhere. I must have missed something in my notes where he left. Oh yeah, he goes to school and
Yeah.
he's like, oh,
Yeah.
weird things are happening all day, but he doesn't realize they're all zombies. So then he gets home and he finds his mom is zombified.
Yes.
Gets his bat and he absolutely swings for the fucking fences
This time.
on this parasite.
This
And,
time is different.
Luckily, his mom falls and he only hits the parasite.
Did she fall?
Yeah, because he was absolutely house in the back of her neck.
Which, by the way, the first swing that he did, you have to figure that he's like, I will not be a fool again. So he has no remorse for his mom. And he's like, I will not be laughed at anymore. So, Mom, if you have to go down for the team on this one, I am going to make that thing hit orbit.
So Virgil gets a hold of them,
Uh-huh.
and Max makes a portal. And in talking to Virgil, they realize they have to find the queen and kill it to get rid of the rest.
Right, which is every sci-fi movie involves aliens. You have to either destroy the mothership or find the queen.
And then they call the parasites zomboids. I put that in my note. I don't know why. Just
It
zomboids.
Yeah, it goes right to what they are.
I like ticks. I like calling them monster ticks.
Monster ticks.
And anyway, so the Zomboid Queen is like a T-Rex and can only see motion. Is
Correct.
what they find.
Yes.
So they're like, don't move, and the zombie queen's like, what the?
Where'd they go?
Yeah,
They were
so-
just here.
And also, it's really huge zomboid monster for some reason. Like all the other ones are really small, but the queen is gigantomongous.
Yes, which begs the question of what did that one do different?
Roids, zombroids.
Oh.
So anyway, they realize that the queen smells like methane and must be filled with it for some reason, obviously.
I think that would be my first.
Whenever
Whenever I get into trouble, that's the first thing I smell.
So Max finds a bone, a broken bone, stabs it,
Mhm.
and then they light matches that they also found.
I don't know if you noticed this or not, but Max is actually a smoker.
Ah.
Yeah.
And they burn the entire place down.
Yes.
So,
Without a care in the world.
Yeah. And after they defeat the queen, they go home, and Max's mom is like, Max, did you clean up all the zomboids?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yes, Mom, I cleaned up all... And we know he didn't.
Yeah.
And he says yes, and then notices that one is in the sandwich that his mom just made him.
I forgot about that.
So not only did she know that he didn't,
Yep.
but she then took one, put it
Uh-huh.
into his sandwich because it was dead, it wasn't alive, and gave it to her son to eat. What if he didn't notice?
So, if you're trying to prove a point, that's the wrong way of going about it. Like, if you're trying to be like, you need to clean up your room, you don't put a dead body.
What if he would have ate it and got some type of weird zomboid virus that was even
and
worse?
it literally starts all over again. And like the problem of it is like I said, if you're gonna prove something to your kid, do yourselves a favor. Don't
Feed them dead
don't
monsters.
go overboard that now the crime doesn't fit the
Yeah,
punishment.
you're like, hey, did you get rid of the dog poop? And they're like, yes. And they're like, Mom.
Or even better is, did you clean up the dog mess outside, and you go to bite your sandwich, and your dog's head is in the
Oh,
sandwich?
actually, your dead dog, not even the feces.
Yeah. So it's like, so what's that conversation like?
That's further than I was going.
Well,
So,
hey, but don't forget, this is the mother of all adventures.
Anyway, episode 8.
Episode 8 is called Norman's Conquest.
So, an ice fisherman
Mhm.
finds a battle axe
Yes,
entombed in the ice.
yes.
Also, why didn't the axe sink all the way to the bottom?
You know, maybe it's foam.
And we cut to a weird monster guy who has sticks sticking out of his face, and he's also trapped.
Yeah, so clearly he hasn't shaved.
Somehow, Virgil
Hmm.
got a message of where the portal is, printed into Max's school textbook.
This is when I start to kind of question, like, is Virgil actually Bugs Bunny? Because he can go back and forth between time, and, like, he can just write things in Max's textbook. Does he, like, put it back in and then goes, Max is going to read this, it's going to be awesome.
300 years.
Yeah, and, like, also, here's the question. Do you think there was, like, he writes it in his notebook, you know, or his textbook, and then he just draws, like, a dick pic?
As everyone obviously has.
If I had the opportunity.
So then we find out that this monster is looking for Norman, and his
Mhm.
name is Spike.
Yep. Typical villain name.
So they transport to a junkyard,
Mm-hmm.
and the monster finds them there. So how'd the monster get there?
Spike.
Gotcha. Anyway, so Spike is absolutely dominating Norman.
Yeah.
Norman says, yeah, I was just letting him think he had the upper hand.
Yeah. Which is what I do all the time in fights. Nothing says like you're winning a fight as being a bloody pulp in the corner. I have you right where I want you, buddy. You think you're winning.
So they then leave the junkyard into some city with no snow on the ground. So how did they get from the snow to the junkyard?
You know, Portal. I'm gonna just go Portal.
Gotcha. So the
Yeah.
stick face guy also
Stick
has
face
portal
guys have
powers.
portals. He
So,
has a hat that has S on it.
they jump into a train to escape in the city.
Hmm.
And then, as they're telling the story of Spike, we find that he's 10,000 years old.
And this is, I think, when we find out that Norman is like
Yeah.
10,000 years old too.
Yeah.
Which he looks good. He looks good.
And Spike attacked Norman's village when Norman was just a kid. And Norman couldn't find his father's axe in time. His father's calling to him, like, get me my axe. And Norman's
Yeah.
like, I don't, And he's like looking at shoes and he's looking under
This
the bed.
is why I tell you to put things away.
Yeah, and then he finds it on an axe holder.
Which kind of a cool story.
Mhm.
Norman's dad is Eric the Red, one of the most famous Vikings who had red hair. Norman has brown.
Doesn't line up with the timeline.
No.
Because
Not at all.
Norman was also Lancelot.
Yeah. So it really doesn't make sense. So I really don't think he has any allegiance to this guy.
So he couldn't get the axe in time.
Yes. And
So his dad lost to Spike, and they fell into the ice, where they were
Mhm.
frozen for 10,000 years.
yeah. But what's interesting to me is only one of them dies.
And as Spike is falling into the ice, he threatens to eat Norman's heart.
I mean,
And,
fair is
and
fair.
Spike has a voice of like a bad guy that I've heard in tons of other shows, and I couldn't put it together. But
That's
I knew
something.
the voice.
Yeah, I have to look it up. Like, there's a lot of these '90s cartoons all have the same actors in them and stuff like that.
So cut back from the backstory, and they're on the train, and they jump off the train and portal to a sewage dump.
Right.
Train was way better. And Norman needs his father's axe,
Hmm.
so they start to go looking for it. And Max says he would rather have an AK-47 and a few thousand rounds. Weird for a kid show.
Also, why didn't he say this for the other hundreds of monsters that he fought?
So I just thought it was weird for a kid show to say that he wants an AK-47 and thousands of rounds.
Well, I tell you what, though, an AK-47 is going to get the job done. Preferred weapon of all villains.
And Spike had said that he's 10,000 years old, but how does he know that he's 10,000 years old? This would have to mean that he was awake and sentient the entire
The
time.
entire time. That actually confused me too. Like, how would you understand? First of all, you're by saying that, then you completely understand what year you're in now, because that's the end point. So you don't have any questions at all of how you got to be 10,000 years old.
And then they rescue a dude who knows where the axe is.
Yes.
They just rescue him while they're fighting, and he knows where the axe is.
Talk about good timing.
They instantly portal to it
Uh-huh.
and get it for Norman.
Yep.
And then Virgil has a great idea on how he's going to heist it out, but Max smashes glass. It's in a museum, if you remember.
Yes.
And they're coming up with an idea of how to heist the axe out. So Max just smashes the glass with a piece of wood, and they get the axe.
I think it's kind of cool because now you're starting to see the villainous side of Mighty Max.
And in their escape, Max destroys a priceless T-Rex skeletal structure.
Yes.
And
They walk away. They don't say anything about it.
so now Norman can fight Spike.
Yeah.
Both are dumb names. And in the fight, Norman pushes Spike off of a cliff instead of cutting him in half or using the axe at all.
That's right. So the whole point of destroying a museum exhibit, destroying a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeletal display, turns into, yeah, we didn't really need to do that. All you had to do was throw him off a cliff.
Yeah. And then Norman's father appears, and they have a weird ghost Jedi moment.
Yeah, which again, I don't understand. I don't understand how he died, but not the other one.
And then Norman cries like a bitch, fade to black.
I cried a little bit. This was another great episode.
Yeah, I
on
thought
their
it was
part.
great. The action was good.
Yeah, I thought it was very good. Again, I cried. I'm man enough to admit that I have emotions.
I haven't cried in about 37 years.
Okay, well, you're a liar.
Anyway, episode 9, Giant Squid.
This is the one where now you're starting to get a little into myth and lore. This is less than 20,000 squid heads.
So Max is trying out for the football team, and the coach makes a special play just for him.
Yes.
Max is actually a beast receiver, but there's a portal in the end zone when he scores, which is weird because
Right.
The fact that he goes through a portal would suggest that everyone knows he can go through portals.
Yes. And the coach, the coach is just like, huh, okay, and just walks away.
Then we find out that Virgil made the play that got him in the end zone, and he should be a football coach. He's a genius.
With a name like Virgil, you should be all around knowledgeable.
They portaled to the middle of the ocean because they thought there would be an oil rig there, but there's not.
So this goes on to your theory of how the portal just goes to a certain place.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to go to, like, this
The
was
Giants,
yeah,
the Dragon's nutsack.
right. So again, there's been many times now where Max has been in the clutches of death, and by a fluke has survived it.
And yeah, it's luckily Virgil has it all figured out, I guess.
But how does he have it figured out?
Scroll.
How did he?
one single scroll.
So he's like, okay, this map shows the location of every portal. This one here is gonna go to an oil rig, but it's not there. So the map is flawed.
Yeah.
So let's just keep reading it.
So then Virgil then says he would build a spaceship if he needs to find. I don't know what I was going with here. My notes are crazy.
This episode isn't amazing.
So anyway, a submarine emerges, and Colonel Sanders is on it.
Yes.
All right, so I see what happened with my notes. They got jumbled here.
Okay.
So there's a submarine. It pops up. Colonel Sanders is in it.
Yes.
He's the owner of the oil rig, and he's looking for his lost rigs. And he says he'll build a spaceship to find it if he needs to. So that's where my note got mixed
Right.
up.
So I'm gonna build a spaceship to find my oil rig.
Yeah, that's in the ocean.
You
Yeah.
should try both.
He built the submarine.
Well, yeah.
Sub gets rammed by a shark. Colonel Sanders keeps saying how rich he is. Literally brings it up all the time.
I
Brings
know.
up how rich he is in the middle
And
of
who-
a fight with a shark.
Who can blame him? 'Cause that original recipe.
I would also do it. I would also do it.
Who would think to put mashed potatoes, chicken, and gravy in one bowl?
In fact, everything he does, he'll say something like, "That's the power of money right there."
I should have listened to him when I was a kid.
So, anyway, they find the lost rig.
Yes.
It's in a ship graveyard,
Yeah.
and they get attacked by a giant squid. And they're getting thrown all over the sub. And that made me think, why doesn't it have any seats? And why does it have an old-timey steering wheel?
Because money couldn't buy everything.
He's just with his old-timey, like,
I've seen this in a movie once or twice. They have these old time wheels.
oh, man. The sub releases an electrical shock that doesn't
Yes.
work, but they
It's cool.
back out of its grip, and Max can now steer a submarine like a beast when they hide from the squid.
He's an all around intelligent man. He has a CDL.
They hide in a cave filled with old ruins. The ruins are
Interesting.
inhabited by a bunch of Squidward's family.
Yes. This is the SpongeBob crossover we talked about earlier.
So the Squidwards have fish in their lights and also use fish for other technology.
Yes.
Uh,
Something us people now can maybe take a look at.
Colonel Sanders is immediately a dickhead to the squids.
Because I have money and you don't, you see?
The squid leader can speak English, is my next note. So they meet the squid leader and
Yeah.
he can speak English.
Yeah.
And his name is Calamaris.
See what they did there? I don't know if you knew this or not, but that's a take
Uh,
on
So
calamari.
anyway, we find out that all the squids are pussies. And they're
Because
not willing to fight back.
Because kids, money can't buy everything.
Yeah, they're not willing to fight back, and they just live in constant fear.
Yes.
And
As typical squids would do.
so Colonel Sanders is he wants to escape. So he gets in a submarine which has no lights because they find that the squid is attracted to light. So he turns them off. And he tries to drive it like a moron, and he's ramming into things and ruining his sub. And we find that he's actually a coward.
Right.
So he then crashes the sub and collapses the tunnel that's protecting the squid people.
This guy has completely demolished an entire civilization.
The squid then immediately attacks Colonel Sanders and Max, and Colonel Sanders are trying to escape. Max goes in to save him. They're trying to escape, and Colonel Sanders actually admits that he's a coward and that all he has is money, and he guesses money doesn't buy everything. And,
That's such a soothing lesson in life.
Max gives him a pep talk, and they go back and fight the squid and shock it to death. So that's all he needed.
He needed that boost so that he could go kill a creature that's probably thousands of years old.
Then they go back to Virgil and Norman, and they find that all the squids can now leave the cave. And I wrote here, what if there's some evil species that are going to murder and enslave all humans?
Only that. It makes you wonder how friendly they are after you've now knocked the only way to get in and out. Just demolished it. What if there was other those Squidwards down there?
And they escape the tunnel, and Colonel Sanders is talking about how they can make money by selling the rights to a film, and Max just portals out.
Yeah. So I didn't know what the film was that he was talking about.
He just wanted to make a documentary or a movie or something based on their adventure.
Oh. See, I was thinking it was like 20,000 Leagues Under the
Yeah,
Sea.
maybe.
Yeah. That's why they called it 20,000 Squid Heads.
We're closing in on the end here.
Oh, man. Episode 10. I loved episode 10. You want to know why? Because you gave me Tim Curry in episode 1 and then went, not doing that again.
Yep, I have finally the Skullmaster.
We are introduced back to the Skullmaster. This episode is very aggressive. Bring me the head of Mighty Max.
So we find that the Skullmaster has weird electric magic that raises zombies that are buried underwater for some reason.
Correct. Also, the Skullmaster has basically a construction company, because in the first episode, which we forgot to mention, in the first episode it shows a bulldozer which has 8 arms and is just digging.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so this guy is like an evil super being, also a supervisor for a construction yard.
So Max receives a letter from UPS on the beach telling him where the portal is.
Yes.
Max and his friends are then attacked by zombies, the underwater electric zombies.
Not the bug ones.
No. So Max portals out without rescuing a single friend, and they're probably all dead now, I assume.
I would think that, I would hope that Max was like, this is for the betterment. You might all die, but eventually I'll figure out a way to maybe save you.
So it turns out that the zombies can track anything on land and sea, and they're currently tracking Max. So maybe his friends aren't dead, but probably are.
They are. They didn't make it past the opening credits.
We learn the Skullmaster's past in this episode. There was a doomed city that was destined to be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And the Skullmaster convinced his people to transfer their souls into his staff to give him great power.
Yes.
So now those souls are the zombies that he sicks on people,
Yeah.
and he betrayed them, and he uses that power only for himself now. And the original Cap Bearer
Mm-hmm.
fought the Skullmaster and tricked him and trapped him at Skull Mountain.
And what was his name?
Maximus.
What if his name was
Maximilian.
Donnie?
The original Cap Bearer was named Maximus,
Uh-huh.
Mighty Maximus.
Yes.
Virgil tells Max he needs to flee the Skullmaster until he's old enough to fight him. Max says Virgil can't tell him what to do, and he decides to fight anyway.
So this is when Max grows a set.
And I wrote a note here. Norman sucks at fighting. I never once saw him kill anybody, but I've seen him get beat up a bunch of times, including by these zombies.
So if you're going to be a bodyguard, if your sole purpose is to, and not only that, If you were Thor at one time,
Literally, the only thing that he beat the shit out of were normal human beings.
yeah, and not only that, like you beat a Biclops, which wasn't too hard, I guess, and then normal human beings. Which, if you're going up against a 9-foot former god, I could see why it'd be a little bit of a difficult fight.
Yeah.
But he's always getting his ass kicked.
Max even beats one of the zombies.
Yes,
Norman does not. He almost never uses a sword.
never.
Virgil tells Max that them fighting is not in the prophecy. Virgil steals the cap like a fucking bitch and runs through a portal.
What Virgil did was not unlike when Hulk Hogan, rest in peace, came out and leg dropped Macho Man.
Oh man. And Max tells the zombies he doesn't have the cap, so they start to track Virgil.
Yes.
Which is also a return dick move.
Yes. Yes.
Norman and Max go after Virgil, and literally the next scene, in a completely different part of the world. How the hell did they get there so fast? Max says that his mom wonders why he gets his clothes so dirty. He wears literally one fucking shirt and one pair of pants. What is she talking about?
How do I get my clothes? You literally went with me to Saudi Arabia in a market.
Another scene skips ahead. Now they're in the desert. How? Max finds the Incan hieroglyphics and can read those too.
This kid's a genius.
Max figures out that Virgil is trying to destroy the cap. Why is he being such a bitch in this episode?
I hate Virgil in this episode.
Also, what's his plan? To just let the Skullmaster win?
It felt like it was like we were gonna see a heel Virgil coming out.
Virgil gets knocked out.
Thank God.
So that's the next scene. Max gets his cap back, and Norman holds the zombies back. They're all in a fight, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Virgil is a bitch and gets knocked out like a bitch.
Yeah.
And Max jumps literally 50 feet through the air to Virgil's body and grabs a scroll and finds a portal.
Because he can do that.
Max puts himself in the same position as the last cap bearer. He's pressed up against the side of a mountain.
This was intense. This was.
He gets Norman's sword, gets to the edge of the cliff, and jumps off.
Uh-huh.
He uses the sword to stick into the side of the mountain.
Right.
And all the stupid ass zombies jump off and fall into a portal that puts them in the deepest part of the ocean.
Because they're dumb.
They're all crushed and dead. Way to be a hero, Max.
You killed millions.
Because if you remember, these are good.
Yeah.
people.
You've killed millions for the benefit of two.
Cut to the Skullmaster. He's pissed.
And he does the classic Tim Curry. Ah!
Episode 11, Werewolves, bitch.
This was. I like this episode. This was actually pretty good. It was. Which the title actually is called Werewolves, bitch. I'll double check. Let me double check here. I'm pretty sure it was called. It's Werewolves of Dunglen.
Which is what I said.
Yeah. No, it's that.
So we cut to a weird three-headed wolf shadow stalking around outside of a castle, which is next to a cemetery for some reason.
That is nuts.
So the three-headed wolf climbs trees and descends down upon a guy and fucking devours him.
For a kid's cartoon. This is a kid's cartoon.
And then cut to Max. He thinks his mom's getting all wet over some dude, but she's just taking a phone, talking on the phone with the TV in the background.
I think we know what was really going on.
Virgil sends Max a VHS giving him instructions on where the portal is. Max tells him to slow down. But why doesn't he just pause and rewind?
Also,
He literally tells it, slow down, Virgil. He could just go,
yeah, and not only that, watching this episode, I was like, wait a minute, we're just going to trust Virgil again? We're just okay with that now?
yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
So Max portals to Scotland and he meets a cop. The cop's trying to figure out what he's looking for. What Max is looking for.
Yeah.
This cop. And some weird scientist lady
Yeah.
shows up and she's like, oh, I'm investigating a wolf. Like she's just instantly introduced all the people he needs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And not only that, she's investigating a wolf, but that's not really a study.
Yeah. Yeah. some weird monster wolf. Anyway, so Max finds out Virgil and Norman were arrested and goes to the jail. They're being held, trying to convince the cop to let them go.
Hmm.
The weird scientist lady is trying to get a guy named Cameron, who's also in jail, set free.
So can we also quick talk about how long Max's rap sheet is? This dude went to prison twice.
So Cameron recognizes the cap bearer.
Right. Because it has an M on it.
Also, Cameron's probably the werewolf. Dun dun dun. That's what I put in my notes.
So does that mean like Memphis University?
No.
No, it's my name.
Yeah, it's mighty. It means mighty. So
Quite high on yourself there, sir.
the Scottish cop, takes Max to his house and feeds him for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Max learns of the werewolf lore. Why doesn't he
Yeah.
already know about werewolves with all the other bullshit he knows?
Yeah, exactly. He's an archaeologist kid.
So, cut to a panting werewolf who stalks outside Max's window as he sleeps in the cop's house that is allowed to sleep in for some reason.
Not only that, how is all of Ireland this welcome?
Scotland.
Sorry. Is all of Scotland just open to having prisoners stay at each other's?
Children sleep in
Yeah,
the
children
they don't know.
Yeah. Hey, you want to come hang out at my house? You seem like you're all right, even though you're in jail.
So they go back to the prison and Virgil confirms Cameron got away as a wolf.
Yeah.
Also, it's a werewolf and there's a talking bird. Like, I don't understand the lore of this world, really.
It is difficult because I remember in this episode, it was kind of like Max didn't believe in werewolves, but he's okay with a 2 foot tall talking bird and a space Rambo.
So the wolf turns back into Cameron. Werewolves are fucking real.
Yeah,
That's what I
it's a real thing.
Max runs to a building where the Scottish scientist lady works.
Hmm.
They find she's been experimenting on werewolves.
There's a mass society of werewolves. There's like 7 tables that she's experimenting
Yeah,
on.
she just has them like strapped down and she's running experiments.
Yeah.
We find she lies and says that she's been experimenting with a new rabies vaccine.
Yes.
Lying bitch.
She is. Yeah.
Now the doctor lady's all sneaky and shit.
Something's going on. There's something amiss.
Bro, she's a werewolf, I think.
I'm not gonna say yes, but I'm not gonna say no.
Max runs away blindly through the fog. Good thing werewolves don't have a good sense of smell.
As anyone knows.
So anyway, Max runs to a castle all the way up to the top and almost falls into what I think is a moat.
Right.
Why? Then he does fall because he's like, and he does the cartoon fall thing.
He's getting chased by a werewolf. I would jump too.
But he's saved by Cameron, who leaps through the air and snatches him.
Yeah.
Cameron can chain.
Free willingly
Yeah.
change back and forth because it doesn't even show the moon one time.
And he says, hey, he's been stalked by another beast, a 3-headed werewolf who's also the scientist bitch lady.
He says that specifically too.
Max devises a ridiculous plan to climb scaffolding and then leap onto a chandelier.
Which they're like, "Are you sure you can do that?" And he's like, "Didn't you see the last episode? I jumped 50 fucking
When the
feet."
werewolf follows them, it actually works. And rocks fall and crush the werewolf monster with 3 heads. Crazy.
I feel like if you're a 3-headed beast, not one of your heads saw that coming.
They have a discussion with Cameron. He tells Max that he has a clan that disappeared, but Max knows where they are. They're back in the scientist bitch lady's lab.
Yeah.
They go back to the lab and break in. Max is a retard and doesn't realize he's been lied to by the scientist lady. Cameron saves his pack.
So, again, these things are just run wild over there. It's a pack.
Cut to the cop. He shows up at the castle and is surprised to see the naked scientist lady who got out of the rubble and hit him with a brick.
Which, by the way, she was not attractive. That's a lot of woman sitting there.
So the scientist lady shows up at the lab to catch Max and Cameron and explains her whole plan of getting werewolves' essence. She
Mhm.
created a serum that gives her werewolf immortality and power.
Yeah. Two things that everybody wants.
She drinks the serum and changes in front of them, getting naked and hot and wolfy again.
I didn't look at it that way, but all right. Because I mean, she was a big woman.
Well, my notes are my notes. Why does she have 3 heads?
Because she's filled with so much essence. You couldn't just stick it in one head. You had to siphon it out.
Cameron transforms. His pack is attacked by the scientist lady. Max sees hydrogen gas and electricity. He's planning on murdering everybody.
He's gonna kill them all. There's too many free roaming werewolves in this place.
Max tries to warn Cameron before he detonates the whole place. Scientist lady gets captured. Right? He blows up the whole place.
Yeah.
And everyone lives and they capture the scientist lady.
Yeah. With hydrogen gas.
Yeah, they blew the whole place apart. And the scientist lady gets captured. Max gets through to Cameron and his pack, and they all escape, leaving the science lady. They actually leave her because she was
Yeah.
stuck there,
Yeah.
and she gets blown to pieces.
Yeah.
And-
She doesn't make it out.
And then he makes a little quip about it. It's like, yeah, we just murdered that lady.
Max, you realize you just murdered someone. I've been doing that this whole season.
And then they go back to the prison and they just let Virgil and Norman out.
Yeah. Also, they're very kind of cool with Virgil.
Yeah, the
A
cop.
lot of people are cool with Virgil.
The cop's like, well, I got hit by a brick by that lady, so it probably wasn't you guys. Go ahead.
I assumed since you two were in jail, which, by the way, if Virgil has wings, how'd you put cuffs on him?
So Cameron and his werewolf pack.
They live on. They
Yeah,
see
they
it.
go to the top of a hill and
They see it through. They survive.
and closing in on the end here.
Are we?
Yeah,
Episode.
we're squeezed for time. We gotta hurry.
Yeah. Out in the cold. This is the Thing reference.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's a Thing
All right.
reference.
So we find dudes just performing demolition in a tunnel.
Yeah.
They get attacked by a Blanca-looking monster.
Which, you know, if I'm gonna get attacked by a monster, it better be Blanca.
Virgil leaves a message
Uh-huh.
for Max on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yep.
Max is checking out the tunnel. He portals there because he had
Uh-huh.
that thing. He's checking out the tunnel,
Yep.
and his hot mom shows up.
She's always at the ready.
Even Norman thinks she's hot. He makes a little.
Yep.
So.
Which, again, season 2. I'm hoping to see something come out of that.
They find the tunnel leads to some weird cave that has bones on the ground, and Norman just tramples right through them.
He don't give a shit. You know, Norman, for being as big as Norman is, he really doesn't care about a lot.
They find weird drawings on the cave walls, and Max's mom knows exactly what they're from, what they mean.
Because she's an archaeologist.
So she's looking at them, and she gets separated from the entire group as weird eyes look on from the dark.
And it's not just weird, it's rapey eyes. It is.
All right, moving along. She's just wandering through the dark and almost falls off of a cliff.
Yeah.
The team goes running after her and almost falls off the cliff as well. Max hears his mom scream and says, I never thought I'd be glad to hear my mom scream.
This poor kid is
I
going-
also would like to make her
Yeah, this poor kid has heard so much out of her mom.
God, that was such a hot scene. Anyway, some caveman jumps out when they go to rescue her. Norman gets in his face and they have a grunt off.
I can only hope one day that I get into a grunt off with someone.
They begin the fight, and once again, Norman doesn't use his sword and gets his ass kicked. I'm starting to think he's lying about being all those different heroes.
Yeah, he's not really. He's cannon fodder, if anything.
The cave starts to collapse and the caveman saves Max's mom. Virgil says he has to learn their language in order to find out what's going on. Why can't they just leave? What the fuck does it matter?
What also doesn't make sense? That's not in one of your scrolls you have?
So the cave drawings that they also figure out how to read they depict the story of the caveman getting power from a meteor.
Yes.
The meteor also gave power to an ancient saber-toothed tiger.
I've heard this story
The
before.
saber-toothed tiger and the caveman have battled it out for centuries, and they start the fight again. And Norman grabs it by the tail and gets his ass kicked by the tiger.
You have to give it to Norman. If anything, he is dedicated to getting his ass kicked.
So the tiger chases him through the caves, and Norman gets his ass kicked by rocks he's trying to move in order to find an exit out of the cave.
If
So-
anything, he's consistent. This guy is 0 for 10.
He can't get the rocks picked up, and the caveman just picks him up and throws him with ease.
But Thor couldn't.
Yep, so they try to block the tunnel so the tiger can't get out, but the tiger gets out anyway.
Which, for being a tiger size,
So
good
the,
for you.
So the team, including the caveman, jump into a taxi cab that somehow has a ridiculous amount of space in the back. And the tiger chases the team,
Uh-huh.
and seems like the cab should have been a little faster than an ancient
It
saber-toothed
goes
tiger.
at a snail's pace.
Oh man. And I
No.
just moved my notes. The stupid part. So the tiger then jumps after the cab, and the caveman busts the roof off the taxi cab, and he starts to just run through the city chasing the tiger.
It's almost like the Power Rangers.
Tiger shows up at a restaurant and interrupts a waiter that looks oddly like a mouse with whiskers, and it's all weird, and the team keeps chasing the caveman and battles the tiger, and
That's their little
it's like
spoof.
another Benny Hill.
Yeah, that's their spoof on Disney.
Was it?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Norman finally takes out his sword and he hits the saber-toothed tiger, but it's like hitting metal, and it just hurts Norman's hands. Why does he even have a fucking sword?
This is the one. Norman pulls that sword out and he goes, "This is my time. I've waited this whole time for this moment," and he just botches it.
Anyway, people are watching the battle against the tiger, cheering from the stands like it's part of a show at an amusement park. Norman grabs the cat by the tail and flings it 50 yards.
And it shows it 50 yards too.
Max figures out that there's a meteorite is something he sees at the amusement park, and then hops into a front loader and drives it like he's done it before, and
Can he even drive
dips
that?
it into a tar pit that's at the amusement park and gets the meteor out. Where did he learn to drive a front loader?
The same place he learned how to drive a spaceship.
Skeletons of ancient beasts start walking out of the tar pit and attack the saber-toothed tiger for some reason.
Because they owed him money.
Max accidentally drops the meteor back into the tar pit, and all the bones and ancient beasts collapse and go back in also. The tiger attacks Max, and the caveman saves him, and then dives into the tar holding the tiger. Episode ends with Max talking about how he didn't see one movie star while in L.A.
That's what you got out of this.
Yeah, he didn't see one single.
So who were you expecting to see?
So good episode or no?
I liked it. I didn't mind it. Unfortunately, if it wasn't for those other 2 episodes, I don't think... Like those other 2, they put a lot of thought process into those other 2 episodes, and then around this time is when it picks up and then it starts going down. I found myself like,
Is it over yet? Almost.
come on.
So episode 13, the final episode.
We have made it.
What's it called?
Avengers Assemble. What it's really called, I think my phone died, so we might never know. The Magnificent Seven.
All right.
Not to be confused with the cowboy
I like
movie.
It. I like it.
Not to be confused with that.
So Max is having recurring nightmares of the zombies getting him for the Skullmaster.
And let's be really appreciative right now that that's the only thing he has PTSD over.
Yeah.
Not a giant eye with worm fingers, not a
A
Biclops, not a saber-toothed tiger, which has the ability to kill a human being. If it wants
was even
to.
struck by a sword, it didn't hurt.
Yeah, if it wants to. He's more upset
Yeah,
about
it doesn't-
zombies.
Yeah. So Virgil explains to Max that heroes can be gathered to fight the Skullmaster and tip the scales.
Mhm.
Virgil tells Max that those heroes will follow him because only he can stop the Skullmaster.
Because he's Mighty Max.
So they go to get Beowulf, who's wrestling in Denmark.
Which
Bale-
I don't understand. Is he supposed to be the real Beowulf?
Yeah.
I didn't get that part.
I think so.
Yeah.
So then Beowulf is in a wrestling match. He immediately loses. Why don't they just get the guy that beat him instead?
Oh, that's going to be your first Avenger, if you will. You mean the guy who just got pinned?
Yeah. So Beowulf doesn't want to join. So Max lies and said, I wanted to be just like you, Beowulf, when I read all those inspiring tales.
Yeah.
And this inspires Beowulf to join them for one last quest.
Right. Again, I don't understand if it's supposed to be the real Beowulf. How did he?
I think so.
How did he find himself in the position where where he has to look at himself and go,
Well, he lost his fighting spirit.
yeah. So he became a wrestler?
Oh, man. So next they go after a guy that's called the Killer of Monsters. Some
Yeah.
weird Native American dude wearing a wolf skin.
Yep. And you could tell because he's wearing actual wolf
Yeah.
skin.
He's great with a bow, and he just
Uh-huh.
joins up with no convincing or even asking him to join at all. He just joins.
Max doesn't even have to lie to him and be like, "Oh,
They show up. He's like, "Oh, we fighting? All right."
oh, I've been waiting for this call."
Next, they go after Hanuman, the Monkey King. He doesn't want to help, so they capture him, tie him up, put a helmet on him, tell him he's helping even though he doesn't want to.
Which is great because, I mean, I guess I gotta help now. I'm tied up.
Next, they go after Mujaji, the warrior woman.
Now,
Good.
this was what I thought was like a Xeno warrior princess.
All right.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool that they brought in a warrior.
All right. So, she's working as some type of animal rights enforcer.
Yes.
Norman tells her he's embarrassed of what she's become, so they knew
Yeah,
each other.
So there was a past
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and now he's
Again.
after. First of all, back off of Max's mom if you're going to be out here with these.
Yeah,
skanky-
you know, the thing of it is like, I feel like if you're gonna just whore yourself out, you know,
Nothing better happened between
No.
Max's mom and him.
if it does, there was no point to setting it up.
Then she realized Max is there and decides she's joining up. She's helping the cat bearer.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, one of the animals goes wild, and Mujaji beats the shit out of it and tames it.
That's right. You gotta show dominance.
And in my notes, I wrote the Avengers are now formed. They
They
make their plan on how to destroy the Skullmaster's crystal. Max gets upset because they keep calling him Mighty, and he says, "Stop calling me Mighty. That's just a kid, and I'm just a kid, and all these guys that just gathered, they're actual heroes, not me."
Yeah. Stop saying I'm a hero.
Virgil says, "No, you're the hero.
That's
It's
right.
prophecy."
And not only that, your shirt says M.
Max tries to give the cap to one of the heroes. Nobody wants it, and Hanuman tries to tell Max that they could just leave and explore the world, but Virgil convinces him not to do it.
Yeah. I would have taken that deal.
Hanuman.
I would have
actually
taken
like
that
Hanuman a lot.
Damn good deal.
So Max leads them through the portal to the Skullmaster's lair. Oh shit, it's a trap!
Ah! This Skullmaster is clever.
The warriors get into a battle with the two-headed dragons and other beasts. Norman actually gets his sword out but doesn't use it.
By the way, I thought what's really cool about this scene was that they just reused the same characters over and over and over again.
Yeah,
Like
they were all the
this
same
this
monsters.
whole army is built off of
Like,
3
yeah.
pixelated characters.
But there's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's millions of them.
So, yeah, he gets his sword out and decides not to use it.
Yeah.
Hanuman, it seems as though they're going to start teaching him things in battle. So he's fighting with them separately.
Mm-hmm.
And Hanuman teaches Max how to use his intuition.
which is going to be helpful on the battlefield.
Mujaji teaches Max how to use his wits.
Again.
The Slayer of Monsters Indian dude, whose name I definitely don't forget,
Uh-huh.
teaches him how to use his focus.
That's right.
And Max learns how to use spirit from Beowulf.
Yeah.
He makes a spirit bomb.
A gun would have been better.
Oh, no, he actually does. That was Goku. My bad.
Oh.
So, he's moving closer to the Skullmaster's lair, and he gets a feeling that he's near the crystal. Virgil tells Max that the crystal is at the top of some stairs, but so is the Skullmaster.
What
And
do you
Max
do?
needs to face the Skullmaster by himself.
It is your time to shine, Max. We gave you this hat because we believe in you.
So he ascends the stairs, and a weird demon monster jumps out in front of Max as he progresses towards the Skullmaster, but Beowulf grabs him and
Oh.
fights him. Max finally faces off against the Skullmaster.
Does he look like this?
I'm gonna be honest, it's not going good.
It's not. The army is falling apart.
The Skullmaster's just slightly moving around the room in the dark, and Max can't catch his breath. He's so scared.
Mhm.
Floating heads of the heroes he gathered start giving him advice. Now Max is ready. Max runs at the crystal, dives through the air to get it. The Skullmaster raises his sword. Max gets the crystal in his hands. The Skullmaster swings his sword and accidentally hits the crystal.
Oh,
All the souls are released.
well, I didn't see that coming.
The Skullmaster says, "You destroyed my crystal," but really he did it. He's just trying to shift blame.
Why would you do this?
Hanuman jumps on the Skullmaster's back, and Max says he'll get killed, but Hanuman says, "Maybe I'll come back as a butterfly."
Use your focus.
Max said they should help Hanuman, but Virgil says no. We need to leave towards the portal, and they all run off, leaving him behind.
Did you get the feeling like Virgil's like, fuck these guys, we're
Hanuman
losing?
has the worst. Like, he didn't want to go.
No.
And they're like, "Fuck him, leave him."
Virgil's like, are you kidding
They
me? Let's get
literally
out of here.
Tied him up and
Yeah.
forced him to help. Then he saves them.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Let's get the fuck out of here."
This is going south so fast.
Fuck this guy. So anyway, they find that the portal's 30 feet out, hovering over top of lava.
Which shouldn't be a problem for Max, the 50-foot jumper.
As they're standing at the edge of the lava, the Skullmaster approaches. The Skullmaster tosses Hanuman's helmet towards them and says, "Poor Hanuman. Oh well, he'll soon have company, and the last to die will get to see all those die before him." Tim Curry goes fucking hard.
Tim Curry in a kid's movie shouldn't exist.
They begin fighting the Skullmaster's henchmen as the Skullmaster says, "Share the fate of the Monkey King." Dude, this is Tim Curry at his best.
Dude.
Max tells the Native American dude, whose name I remember, to tie a rope to his arrow.
Yeah.
He then says, "I see your plan, Mighty One," and without any direction at all, shoots an arrow with a rope attached to it to a dragon. Into the dragon. The rope is tied to Norman, who grabs onto everyone, and they're about to be pulled out over the lava.
Yeah.
How the fuck was he like, "I see what you're saying"?
So all Max has to do is give like a simple head nod. And apparently because the Native American has been in so many wars, it only takes that simple head nod to understand a strategic plan performance that he just goes, I see what you're saying.
Norman, unfortunately, can't hold everyone, so they leave the remaining heroes there to die as
Yeah.
they portal away.
Oh well, shit happens.
They get through the portal and land in safety. Nice music starts to play, and Virgil says, "'Tis destiny, Mighty One."
It's destiny for everyone to die? Are you serious?
Max builds a little grave, and he has the helmet that Hanuman wore. Places it there. Episode ends. Hell of an episode to end season 1.
Yeah.
Everyone died.
Everyone. I mean, this was the literal Rogue One of cartoons right now. That everyone died. And Hanuman, the one guy who didn't want to be involved, I would assume probably went out the worst way. Because that
Getting
helmet,
ripped in half.
that helmet was destroyed when he threw it at him.
It was a great episode.
It was a great
banger to
episode.
end season 1.
So he totally, all those characters taught Mighty Max about focus
yeah,
and about courage and about strength and everything. Not one of them used it because they all died.
So that was season 1 of Mighty Max, and we have a little rating system that we put together, and we're gonna rate it on a scale of how many pogs you think this episode has earned.
Because we're not getting rid of this 90s.
Yeah, we're keeping
Theme.
it going.
Yeah, we
And if an
have to keep it
episode
going.
or a season or a movie gets 5 pogs in every category, it's a slammer.
It is a slammer. And that means if it's a slammer, it's worth your watch.
So I think when we're talking about animated episodes, some of the things we're going to talk about is the voice acting,
Yes,
the animation,
right?
the music,
Yeah. So
and the writing, the story.
the storytelling, yeah. Because I think like with the animation's critical. You need that animation
Yeah.
in there because if it's just kind of drawn up like kindergartners, it's not going to be the same level of awesomeness.
All right, so let's start with what I think is number 1, the story.
I think going into season 1, I'm going to say that this is a solid. Starting off, it was slow. It got huge in the end. I'm going to give this one a solid 4 out of 5.
I'm actually with you, 4.
Yeah,
Four
I
pogs.
think 4 pogs out of 5. Again, like I said, it started off small. It kind of was like those first couple episodes was really cartoony-ish, but once you got to the ape episode, it really picked up.
Yeah.
It was really a good. So much so that if you were a kid, you enjoyed it, but if you were an adult, you enjoyed it too because you saw a lot of the references in there. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 pogs.
All right. Then what do you think would be next? We got story, then I would say animation.
Animation, I'm gonna give 3 out of 5, just because it's the same animation style as pretty much all of the cartoons in the '90s. Those Saturday morning cartoons that we're talking about, it had almost the same animation style.
Again, I'm with you on the animation side. I think
Yeah.
it's a 3. It could have been better.
It could have been drawn
worse.
a lot better. I would have liked to seen something that made it unique from the other comic or from
And
the
there's
other.
some moments where I was like, maybe it's a 2, but you know what? It's a 3. It came out
Yeah.
strong in big moments.
Because the animation style, when it came to for example, the dragon in the one episode with the homeless guy who's living in his dead dragon, that was actually really
Yeah,
well
That
drawn.
was a good episode.
But I'm not gonna give it a higher number because in this last episode, I didn't like how, like I said, they used 3 characters and just used the same thing over and over again to show that this army is massive. You know, you could have made some unique things in there, and they didn't succeed in that. So I'm only gonna give it a 3 pog out of 5.
Yeah, I'm with you. All
Yeah.
right. Voice acting.
This voice acting cast is powerful.
Yeah. I thought
This
it was good.
this is a Hall of Fame style voice acting cast.
And they honestly killed their roles. Like, Virgil was as annoying as he was supposed
Yeah.
to be. Norman was the tough guy. Max was a rebellious teenager.
So
the
for-
mom was hot.
I don't know why you keep bringing that up, but okay. Because you can't say mom is hot and then go, yeah, but her voice acting's cool too. So just real quick here. For Max, we have Rob Paulson. Anyone who knows Animaniacs.
Yeah, I got that like later on in an episode.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah, he's powerful. He's amazing. You have Virgil as Tony J. As I said earlier, he was the voice of Frollo in Hunchback of Notre Dame. So he's already seen big movies, big titles, and everything like that. You have Norman, who's Richard Mole. Not well known. If you were to see him, you'd know who he is. Scary Movie. He did the comedies of Scary Movie. He did Night Court. I don't know if you remember that.
No.
That was a stupid show. Anyway, Skullmaster, something we picked up on very quickly, almost immediately, is Tim Curry. What can be said about Tim Curry that hasn't ever been
Yeah.
said? I mean,
Amazing
he's
voice actor.
again, you can
Amazing
be blind.
actor.
Yeah, you can be blindfolded, and you know that. You know that. When I mentioned earlier, Jim Cummings does a lot of the voices, so he is a well-renowned voice acting.
And there were some other voices in there, like B. It was the voice of one of the Rugrats.
Yes,
Like
yep.
so, there were other voices in there.
This is a powerhouse squad, and you got to figure too, coming into this show, these guys are new, so they're not even coming into fruition of what they're eventually known for. So, voice acting, I got to give it 5 out of 5.
Yeah, 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I mean, you had some powerful things.
And we've been in agreement.
5 out of 5.
We've been in agreement
5 out of 5.
up until this point.
5 out of 5.
Music.
All right, I'm gonna make the argument that it was great. It had everything you wanted in a 90s cartoon.
No.
Hey, it did.
It was random notes.
But
just
the thing
riffed
of it
by
is-
guitar. Not even. It was some guy fell onto a guitar somewhere, and they're like, "Let's put it in the
Right,
episode."
but when you hear it, you're like pumped.
I wasn't.
Well,
I
all
was
right,
sad. I didn't have dad growing up.
You're pumped.
All right. So what's your score?
For the sake of argument, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5.
3.
3 pogs out of 5.
I'm gonna give it a 1.
Wow.
So we meet in the middle at 2.
So let's just meet in the middle and say I'm right.
Let's meet in the middle at 2. We don't even have to save for another episode.
So
The decider.
the
The
decider.
20-sided decider.
We miss
You'll
you,
see-
Hulk.
We'll see that one later, I'm sure.
Eventually, at some
So,
point, but
Anyway, this is kind of how episodes are going to go, and I hope you're along for the ride. We love doing it. It was a lot of fun. Thanks to the guys at Alchemist Cove for letting us be here. We kept them here
Yeah.
late, unfortunately, so we're going to get the heck out of here as fast as
Sorry.
possible.
we're sorry.
And hope to see you next time.
We can't wait for the next episode. Please be with us. It's gonna be great. Bye.
Come